Could I have a job? So like many students during their college breaks, they get part-time jobs to help pay for crippling debt, with me currently working on it myself. So I had the brilliant idea of stepping into the world of fast food because no one else would take my applications for a summer job. Like I thought I was super qualified at the time for other jobs, but it turns out being an ex-football team captain and unranked League of Legends addict wasn't the play. But luckily at the time my sister was working at Dunkin', so she got me the hookup. So there's tons of stories I have, but we'll start with a time that I just clocked in. I remember typing my numbers, then putting my visor, apron, and name tag on. Then I would proceed to do my ceremonial sigh of depression, because it's gonna be a long day. From there I was put on front counter for the day, meaning I take orders, do coffees, and stack the donuts all by myself, while drive-thru like handles their own message. While I began getting the donuts stocked on the shelf to be nice and neat, the door slams open loudly in the front, and this man comes in throwing a coffee right onto the front counter, splashing half the drink onto me and the floor. Did you want me to make you a coffee with a donut, sir? Okay. I wish this is how it turned out, but I was terrified because I was awful at confronting customers with problems. But it turns out the problem was the man's coffee was made completely wrong. Like, that's no problem. But slamming your coffee on top of a counter is no way to handle the situation. Like, one, it's rude and wrong. Plus, I would feel absolutely embarrassed if I did this to some poor college kid trying to make minimum wage. So I offered to make this man a new coffee so that he would calm down. And during all this, he apologized and said, "Sorry, they just made my coffee wrong. Sorry, we messed it up. I just clocked in, so I don't actually know who made it." But then here comes the best part of it all.
Oh, it wasn't you guys. It was another Dunkin'.
So it turns out he came from the Dunkin' directly up the road and decided to drive here with his nuclear bomb coffee and throw it all over the counter. I'm pretty sure that rival Dunkin' was out to get us, so they sent him as a spy to ruin my day. So I got absolutely punished for someone else's mistake. On top of that, I ended up having to mop and clean everything while getting swarmed by the morning rush. But after all that hard work of surviving the morning rush, I would like to bring out a positive note of some fun moments that happened at Dunkin'. This was all due to the people that I worked with who made it actually a really cool experience. Except for two of them, they can actually eat my nuts. And I honestly hope you're allergic to them too. So when things calmed down heavily after the morning rush, the fellow younger aged employees like me would take the munchkins and throw them at each other after the other manager left. And for those who don't know what munchkins are, they are basically a donut hole, aka the middle of the donut that doesn't get used supposedly. And for the rival company of Tim Hortons consumers, Timbits. For some reason, we would always have like a ton extra of these things, so they had different hardnesses depending on your flavor. And by the end of the shift, the blueberry cake munchkins were basically the equivalent of taking a 50 caliber bullet to the face. So we would run around chucking delicious death balls at each other, and there was this one time when my friend Mike, who was a baseball pitcher by the way, decided to wind up his preseason pitch and throw it at another employee, but missing horribly. This was quickly followed by a large smack noise, followed by a large bang. He threw this munchkin so hard it ended up knocking this industrial clock off the wall. Which makes me lead to the question, are these things actually digestible in a human stomach? Huh. But the clock being on the ground immediately made us panic, trying to get it back up, and after a few minutes we actually got it. But things only got worse. It turned out it would be the hottest day of the summer, and I had to work drive-through window. So I was constantly getting blasted with bouts of UV rays as punishment for my munchkin sins. But that was the tolerable part. Here's the part that permanently scars me. An older lady drives up to the window, and she was sweating a lot. Like, a lot. And honestly, I was pretty convinced that somebody power hosed her when she got to Dunkin'. That'll be $3.15 for the large iced coffee, ma'am. So instead of being like any other human being and having a wallet or a purse, she reached into her shirt between the booba and reached around for a good minute before handing me a $20 bill. And I could honestly feel time slowing around me as I reached for this $20 bill. This $20 bill had to be the soggiest and slimiest dollar bill that I've ever had. Like, miss, money is already dirty, and this is probably the reason why. But then I proceeded to uncomfortably cash her out and hand her her drink. I could literally feel my sacred 19-year-old virgin hands tainted from ugly, sweaty booba money. Can I wash my hands? Yeah, go do that before you become a hazard. And that's a few stories that still haunt me in my sleep, and it feels good telling people about them because I'm getting it off my chest. More of the story, work sucks, but you could try to at least make it less miserable than it actually is. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video, maybe subscribe, and I will personally hand you a taco through the drive-thru. Bye-bye!